Hey storyteller, Hey storytellers, Chill here with broken glasses and back from 2025. Happy New Year! I'm serious, by the way. They're broken until I sat on them. I sat on them. But seriously though, Happy New Year to all of you. And whether you stuck around with the channel since the beginning of the year, came in halfway through, or this is your first Chillixion video, pat yourself on the back. Okay, seriously. You made it. Life is difficult enough with all the troubles of society, politics, personal stuff, mental stuff, just shit happening, and you made it. You did it. It's not because of someone else, okay? It's not because of the video you watched. That might have helped, but you made it. So be proud of yourself. I know my 2025 was filled with some stress and some worry. I did not upload as much as I wanted to, but you guys stuck with me, and I'm really happy about that. It makes me happy. Oh yeah, and we got 5,000 subscribers. I mean, at this point, we're over. We're like at 5,100 something or whatever, but Jesus Christ, thank you guys so much. I'll talk about it way more at the end of the video, but I am just so grateful for the opportunity that you guys give me, so thank you. Really. And 2026 is gonna be an even bigger year than 2025 was. Trust me, come from the Chillixion channel, 2026 is gonna be good. But one thing I'm excited, worried, concerned about in 2026 is Marvel's Avengers Doomsday. Now I'm gonna be honest, if you watch this channel, then you know I am a huge comic book and superhero fan. Ever since I was a kid, my dad would take me to the movie theaters and we would watch every new superhero movie that came out. I was just so obsessed, like whether it was Ghost Rider or Iron Man or Captain America or Man of Steel, we would watch it, and whether I liked it or not, I would have a good time. And eventually, as I got older, it eventually just became I would go to the movie theaters, and now as an adult, I go alone. Pussy! But I've always been a huge fan of superhero movies and watching a good superhero flick in theaters with some popcorn and an icy. But as we all know, the MCU has had a bit of a decline since Endgame. Like, yes, No Way Home was good, Shang-Chi was good, Thunderbolts was good, Fantastic Four was good, but the general energy surrounding the Marvel Cinematic Universe is not the same. People are not hyped for these movies like they used to be. And it's a mix of multiple things, you know, COVID, the Disney Plus shows, recasting from awful people, just general controversies from Disney and thick shit alike. It has been a difficult time for the creatives trying to make these superhero movies. And now, Marvel is releasing Doomsday by the end of 2026, hopefully trying to make it bigger than Endgame with in any way they can. And fans, me included, are understandably concerned. I mean, how are you gonna wrap up stuff from all the way back in Phase 4 up until now when none of them have really connected? And now it's not Kang Dynasty, it's Doomsday? And Dr. Doom is played by Robert Downey Jr., what do we do? Again, understandably, people are worried, right? With Infinity War and Endgame, we sorta knew generally where we were going. With Doomsday, no fucking idea. But it had me thinking, what if Marvel approached me and said, hey, random college film student, what if you made Avengers Doomsday? Okay, same cast, same mission, same movies previous, same, you know, things they're probably gonna set up later, just different creative direction. I did something very similar with the DCU Teen Titans about a year ago. Jesus Christ. On a much smaller scale, I did like 1 to 2 scenes, but here, what if they asked me to do the entire movie? And when I started this, it was, I wanna say a few months ago, I thought I would be good. I thought there would be no Doomsday anything for a while because the movie's not releasing until December this year. But Marvel has chosen to release teasers. Yay! And I have seen them.
Somehow Palpatine returned.
They're all right, but I wrote the script and made this entire video before those teasers released. So there is no Captain America, okay? We didn't even, why is he even there? Why is he even there? But yeah. I forgot Thor too. My point is, I'm not Marvel, right? I'm not Kevin Feige, I'm not the Russo brothers, I'm not any actual director. I'm not saying I can make this movie better than them. I'm not even saying I can make a movie that is as good as what they would make, okay? Because I am making a silly YouTube video and they are making a multi-million-dollar production. Okay, there's so many moving parts to making a movie that I'm fully aware what I'm doing, not comparable. But this is just a different version. This is a fun idea. This is not a replacement. This is not a prediction. This is just me saying what I would do. It's fan fiction. I'm making fan fiction. You're watching fan fiction. So, storytellers, newcomers, Marvel fans, sit back, grab a snack, grab a drink, relax, because this is a long one. And welcome to my pitch for Avengers Doomsday. We open on nothing except the sound of metal being destroyed, like it's being devoured by some beast. We fade into the scene at hand. It's a dark atmosphere with a sandy ground as we walk into the open halls of what looks like a coliseum, but an empty one. As we slowly continue to move forward, we begin to see deep into the coliseum is a light emanating from it. Sparks of blue being overtaken by sparks of green. We hear screams of terror, struggle, and please. We see glimpses of what's happening. Figures running away from whatever is off screen, turning, attempting to attack. 3 gone in 1 green beam. As we continue to get closer, we see helmets, bodies, remnants of what used to be the Council of Kangs. We cut to one of the Kangs, defeated and grounded in an absolute mess after whatever battle took place.
So much so that we can't even recognize that it isn't Jonathan Majors.
What are you doing? Please, please don't. We hear someone clearly walking up, taking their time. I can give you time. I can give you riches. I can give you power like you've never known before. The person walking up in their huge cloak stops for a moment. He puts his hands, covered in armor, behind his back as he peacefully turns around to reveal Victor Von Doom. Mask on. I do seek power. I will not deny your vast intelligence. As Doom is speaking, Kang uses this opportunity to press some buttons as his suit begins to charge up and attack. But I find it quite insulting. As he says this, Doom only starts turning back to face Kang. Kang pulls back and shoots the blast at Doom. Kang is still aiming the blast. The light is illuminating his face, but it's not stopping. He finally opens his eyes to see his own attack being stopped. Stopped by a shield of green magic. To assume that I could not obtain that power myself. Doom says that last with emphasis as he moves his hands, reverses Kang's attack as the blast turns into a bright green. It shoots towards Kang as he screams and puts up his hands to cover himself. Doom stands in front of the puff of smoke he has just created as he turns back around to leave the Coliseum. Kang is gone. So this scene is very simple, right? We're all aware that because of Jonathan Majors' absolute nonsense, don't be weird in the comments, I'm begging you, he is no longer Kang, and the character of Kang the Conqueror has been completely scrapped and is being replaced by Dr. Doom. And even though we all know this and we're all excited for Doom, and from a storytelling perspective, it wouldn't just make sense to just, you know, never acknowledge Kang again. We set him up for like an entire phase. We had a whole show basically about him. We had a movie where he was the main villain even if he got smoked. We need to establish why he's no longer here. And so I thought it would make the most sense to have Dr. Doom kill him. Not just one Kang, but all of the Kangs. That's how you establish the next big thing. That's how you establish the big bad of this movie. Say, hey, you remember that villain that you thought was gonna be, you know, the Thanos level threat, the person that was gonna destroy the entire multiverse? Yeah, Dr. Doom killed all of them. He killed every single one. And he's not even injured. He's fine. A ship that clearly belongs to the Fantastic Four is entering Earth's orbit and is about to crash, all being seen by our new heroes. Black Widow, Ghost, US Agent, and Bob all leave the tower to go investigate. As we see the ship crash in some park, civilians split as it does. The new Avengers arrive at the scene and investigate the ship, probably quip about it as the doors open slowly. They all turn, ready to attack. Bob probably just puts his fists up and hides a bit, to be honest. As from the doors comes out a cloaked figure, only seeing his back, as the new Avengers stand in confusion and hesitation. For us, it's the same green cloak as before, a little darker in the lighting, but we know it's the same guy, and we actually get to see how he looks without the mask. He looks just like Tony Stark. Everyone's favorite decision, right? The shot is framed in a way where his full face is not shown yet, but we can see his eyes and enough of the ship and enough of his general facial shape to understand that he looks like Tony. The new Avengers stand confused. None of them knew Stark, but they all know this guy seems familiar, as behind Victor's back, he fiddles with his mask. Apologies. I do not mean to intrude. I'm traveler from another world, and it seems I'm lost. Well, welcome to Earth. We're not too fond of visitors. US Agent mid-sentence preps to chuck his shield full force at Doom until he and the rest of the new Avengers sees Doom has his hand up, like that was his only defense prepared. And with his other hand, he's leading a little boy to the door. A blonde child. Franklin. Doom says that name, Franklin, with such a sultry tone. US Agent, a father in his own right, puts his weapon down. So this is the big one. This is the entire idea for the film. Doom has Franklin taken, kidnapped, abducted, whatever you want to say. Doom and Franklin are together. Now, when I started working on this video, the main idea in my head was, how do we introduce, establish, explain, and make the audience fear and care for Doctor Doom? And in the same way that Infinity War was very much Thanos' movie, this would be Doctor Doom's movie. This would essentially be a solo Doom movie featuring the Avengers. Now, obviously, we wouldn't be able to do that. We have a lot of things to establish and a lot of things to do, but I feel like this is the best way to really make people care about Doctor Doom, because he is the most important character in this film and probably the next one. And the end of Fantastic Four really put an idea in my head of, what if Doctor Doom and Franklin had this connection throughout the entirety of Doomsday, sort of a Last of Us type thing. You know, where Doom is the grizzled sort of dad and Franklin is that young, bright, hopeful kid, seeing that relationship bloom. And I know if you're a diehard Doctor Doom fan, you're like, oh, that's not my Doctor Doom. He sounds too nice. Trust me. I know. That's what makes it interesting. Because I'm thinking, let's not only make this movie for the comic book fans, let's make this movie for the people who don't know who Doctor Doom is. Give him a reason for people to care. And for me, I think the relationship dynamic, the potential between Doom and Franklin is just so golden that we have to do it. It allows Doom to still be this super dramatic, super intense character, but it gives you something to connect to. It gives you Franklin. You, as an audience member, can understand Franklin is a little kid. I know little kids are pure. How does Doom interact with this pure little kid? And then your opinion on Doom forms based on that. Obviously, there's going to be other scenes, but I think that relationship can really lead to not only Doom, but both characters really growing. And plus, it gives Doom something to do, right? There's no Infinity Stones, the rings don't mean shit, so he needs something to do. Doom puts his mask on. I hate to ruin your one-liner, but we are also from Earth, just not the one we stand on as of now. The new Avengers, all confused, question what the man meant, all as he held the little boy's hand and caressed his hair. Where is your greatest scientific mind? Therefore, the new Avengers take Doom to their tower where he and Franklin can properly recover, and he can interact with Red Guardian and, most importantly, Bucky Barnes. So, what was your name again? Dr. Victor Von Doom. Bucky glares at him. But you can call me Doom. Victor's good. Meanwhile, in the background, Franklin is messing around and shit, probably being watched by Red Guardian. I wrote it in a lot nicer of a way, but I just can't. For some reason, I chose the worst words ever to use it, so that's what's happening. So, Doom, you and the kid are from another Earth? How did you get lost? Is it that easy to trip into another dimension? Universe. Wait, what's the difference? Franklin and I had to leave our home due to dire circumstances. As we fade into a flashback. Interior, Baxter Building. We fade to the end credit scene of Fantastic Four: First Steps. In the Baxter Building, all we hear is Sue Storm screaming.
Franklin! Franklin, sweetie, please!
Sue and Doom stand across from each other, enough distance to matter, as the oblivious Franklin is tugging at Doom's coat, unaware of the stakes as his mother tries to keep her calm. Doom is purposefully standing in front of Franklin. He adjusts his mask. Hello to you as well, Susan.
No, you don't get a hello. Barging into our home like this.
I heard the family had a child. I had to meet him. So rude of you all to keep him away from a man so important to his life. Doom starts to touch the young boy's cheek.
What the hell is going on?
Sue, what's going on? As Reed, Ben, and Johnny barge into the room as fast as they can, this stops Doom in his tracks as he turns to face Reed. Richards. Franklin. Reed goes quickly to the side of his wife to help her in this moment of distress. I don't know what you want, Victor, but it's not worth the boy's life.
For God's sakes, Victor, he doesn't even know what's going on.
Franklin is looking at his family. His expression has gone from glee to curiosity. The four are doing a good job at making sure he doesn't freak the fuck out, but in the time Sue was gone, Doom had done something to convince Franklin to not fear him. Franklin Richards is 5 years old. He is a toddler. He is super young and he is super impressionable. Dr. Doom is a genius. He knows how to get what he wants, so if he needs to, he will be nice to Franklin to get what he wants. And at the end of Fantastic Four: First Steps, you sort of see that dynamic. In one simple shot, you see that Doom has his mask off and is caressing Franklin. He is showing vulnerability. You can't see me. He's showing vulnerability to Franklin. And I think because Franklin is so young, it allows him to really believe in this good that Dr. Doom has in his heart that we may see will either exist or will not exist. Oh, regrettably, Richards, you're correct. And Susan, I assure you, the boy is very aware and more precious than you could ever know. Johnny rushes in and starts blasting at Doom.
Johnny!
Both parents scream, hoping that Johnny doesn't hit their goddamn son, but he's too fired up to care, as his attacks hit Doom's armor, and he tanks it. Doom stands in defiance, looking up at the floating human torch. Doom just glares. He quickly moves his hands as he begins to perform a sorcerer's sigil. It's green light, interrupted by a crash, right in Doom's face. Ben through the kitchen counter at the man. Doom wipes the debris off his face and cloak. Ben sprints at full speed towards Doom. Franklin is snatched by Reed and brought to his father's side. Doom is speared by Ben. Is everything okay? Are you hurt?
His face. His face is...
I know.
Everything's gonna be okay, sweetie, don't worry.
We see Johnny and Ben teaming on Doom a bit further from Reed, Sue, and Franklin, as a green glow comes from them both as, boom, they're pushed away from Doom. Sue uses her powers to halt Johnny and Ben's impact on the house. I think the fight here, the first real big fight of the film, could be a good showcase of the upper echelon of Doom's abilities, and also showcasing the Fantastic Four fighting against Doom, right? These characters have history with each other, and we can't have like flashbacks just being like, here's all the fights they used to have, so let's show it in one simple interaction. Have them fight and have it be close. Make sure that the Fantastic Four's mission isn't beat up Doom, defeat Doom, get rid of Doom. It's keep Franklin safe, almost keeping, keep away or a hot potato with the kid. And I want to establish that the Fantastic Four are good at keeping Franklin safe, but may not be good at keeping him away from Doom. These are two separate missions. And as the fight is happening, I think this would be a good time for Dr. Doom to provide some information to our heroes. I'm trying to save you. The world is in danger.
Yeah, newsflash, Dr. Doom. We already saved the world.
Not just our world, but every world. As in? Of course you know not about it, Richards. But the end is nigh. An incursion is set to occur on our world. Incursion? We cut back to the present. What's an incursion? An incursion is when one world, one universe, collides with another, crashing into it. What the hell would two universes colliding look like? Like they exist in the same world? I Fear not. At best, one of the two universes is destroyed beyond repair, leaving all of its life gone, never to return. And at worst, this happens to both worlds. Franklin, now close to Doom, looks down, saddened. The new Avengers all look at the boy and the man and they assume, but they still pay respects. The boy misses what we left behind, but sadly, it cannot return. These incursions could end all life as we know it. Doom stands up, so I ask again, where is your greatest scientific mind? Ha! You're not gonna find it here, sorry. Anywhere else? Well, Stark's dead, Banner's missing, and Shuri is unavailable. Best bet you'd find is Hank Pym, on the other side of the country. I see. Well, Doom puts his hand out for Franklin to grab. It's best we get going. Are you planning to walking into California on yourself? I'm sorry, but not possible. I assure you, I will make it possible. Doom walks out of the new Avengers Tower with Franklin as the new Avengers just watch in confusion. Did you believe any of that malarkey he was talking about? Not even a bit. It's not ridiculous. Sounds pretty ridiculous. I'm serious. I know he said another universe, but he looks just like Stark. We can't ignore that. None of us knew the guy. What difference does it make if he looks like him? Well, if he looks like him, then maybe he's just as smart as he was. I'm just saying. Let's keep an eye out if he pops up again. Plus, that incursion stuff. Just do it. Plus, if he turns into a problem, we'll just stick Bob on him. What? I'm joking, by the way. Bob isn't doing a thing in the script. Okay, there are too many characters. Too many. You're lucky he's in the movie. We follow Black Widow as she approaches the large window in the tower. She looks outside. She sees Doom walking. It's mostly dark green cloak, with Franklin behind him, still holding his hand. Interior, Baxter Building. Doom and the Fantastic Four are staring at each other, and Franklin is in the center of them. Still unaware of the stakes, he's sure this is tense, but he has no idea of the danger that Doom truly possesses. He's still empathetic. Be kind, Franklin. Doom casts a spell on the boy that puts him to sleep. If he's age and size, that spell should last up until we leave.
Yeah, you're not going nowhere.
Sue uses her abilities to put an invisible pressure on Doom. As quickly, Johnny joins in with his own blast, and then Ben too. Doom struggles for a moment until he sees an opening and begins to bend Johnny's fire using magic. You should stop acting at the same time. Doom spreads the attacks across the entire living area of the Baxter Building as fire and glass comes crashing towards Reed and a newly picked up Franklin. Reed rolls forward to evade the attacks as he rolls towards Doom, who kicks him in the face and takes Franklin from him. Doom, with Franklin in his arms, points his hand to the ceiling, and boom! A bold green energy blast releases and blasts the roof off the Baxter Building. As the building starts to crumble, Doom points that same hand to the ground, and boom! Another green energy beam blasts the floor down, sending Johnny, Ben, and Sue flying and crashing into the walls. Reed manages to stay grounded. Doom drops down through the entire building as Reed quickly follows suit. Doom lands on the bottommost floor with the force of an elephant but the grace of a gazelle. He looks to see an almost endless hallway leading to one door. He waves his hand and in an instant, with a green flash, he's there. He waves his other hand and the barcode on the side of the door flashes every possible button combination before ultimately unlocking, doors opening for Doom. Reed lands on the bottom floor and sees Doom at the end of the hallway. Doom seems to be entering a ship with Franklin. Reed, mustering all the strength he has, stretches his arms like a slingshot, attempting to reach Doom as the doors are closing. Reed screams at the top of his lungs. Doom points his index finger and aims for the center of Reed's head as a green glow comes from it. But as Reed's voice echoes, Franklin begins to wake up, agitated, as he releases an infant wail. This causes the entire building to shake slightly, putting a fault in Doom's aim, and Doom shoots the beam, and it hits Reed. Bang! Reed Richards lays on the floor as the door closes, and Doom quickly enters the ship with Franklin as the escape gates open as well. Doom escapes as we can hear the increasingly muffled yell from Franklin. He's gone. Soon the other Fantastic Four members arrive at the bottom level and rush to Reed. Sue is terrified and immediately goes to pick him up. Ben checks for his pulse. He's still kicking. Just got hit really bad. What do we do? Oh, Jesus. Sue is devastated. She just lost her son. She almost lost her husband. Her home is destroyed. But now is not the time. She sits straight up and looks at the other members. Doom said other worlds, right? He took our second best ship. Who's to say he isn't going to those other worlds? The Fantastic Four get up with Reed in hand and begin to look through the debris until they find their ship locator and any backup ships so that they can follow Doom to wherever he goes to hopefully recover Franklin. The Fantastic Four get on their ship, find out that Doom somehow already traveled to another universe, and arrive in the main 616 universe, crash landing. The new Avengers, already suspicious, go back there, this time all of them, ready to fight whatever came here. The doors to the F-4 ship open slowly. At the new Avengers wait with tension, and the second they see a semblance of a person, US Agent throws his shield towards them. We see his shield get caught and even bent a little more by Ben. But when the new Avengers see Sue tending to a knocked out Reed, they feel the need to bring them to the tower. You let him take the kid? What's wrong with you, knuckleheads? How was I supposed to know? He looks nothing like him. He was wearing a mask the whole time. As this argument is going on, Reed is being tended to in the medical bay. Sue is checking on him, and Black Widow approaches her. I'm sorry. It's okay. Really. Don't feel stupid for being outsmarted by him. Same goes for you. Sue gives a half-hearted chuckle. It almost breaks her. Bucky approaches. So who even is this Doom guy? Doom and my husband were college friends. Doom and Franklin are walking alongside the tracks. They were close, but some people just stop, you know? My husband is very particular, and Doom is very obsessive. Doom approaches the front of the train. Franklin loves how the trains look here. He's star-eyed.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. Let's ride on top.
No.
Hey.
Aw, okay. Franklin looks down, disappointed. Doom is spoken to by the train conductor behind him. Excuse me, sir? Yeah, if you're gonna join us, you'll just need one of those tickets. And maybe take that hooded mask off inside. Doom looks, and you can hear a deep rage gathering from within. He tightens his fist as a green glow begins to form, but this is the hand that's holding Franklin's. He looks back and lightens his squeeze. He sees the boy, still looking down. No. We will be fine. Off goes the train. As we see inside the train car, there's no Doom and no Franklin to be found. But as we pan up, we see sitting on the top of the train is Franklin, loving the scenery. As standing, arms crossed, staring ahead, is Doom, forever focused on his goal.
We'll be right back with more Chillixion.
Guys, as I'm writing the script, I'm realizing it's not gonna be able to get done. I can't finish the script. I can't do it. I need some sort of help. can help by clicking that like button. Got you again, motherfucker. It's 2026 and we're still doing this shit. Hey! No. I choose kindness. Kindness. Seriously though, that like button looks pretty good. So if you're enjoying this video right now, if you're enjoying this pitch video, please click that like button. Let's get this video, let's go nuts. Let's get this video to 100 likes. Usually when I say that, the video gets like 10, so who knows how it's gonna go. But if you guys get this video to 100 likes, it lets me know that you guys wanna see more of these pitch videos. I mean, the DCU one, the DCU Teen Titans one did really good. You guys seem to really like that. And this is me doing it like in a much more extreme sort of way. So if you guys wanna see me keep, you know, raising the production costs, raising the stakes, making them bigger and badder and more cinematic and crazier, please click that like button. Support the content and support the creator, okay? We've been with that motto since the beginning of 2025 and it created a pretty good year for us. So let's get this video to 100 likes and I'll keep going with the pitch video stuff. I'm serious too, I got plenty of ideas. X-Men movies, Spider-Man movies, Superman movies, Batman movies, even non-traditional superhero stuff. A Powerpuff Girls reboot, a good one too. I have so many ideas in my mind that I would just love to share with all of y'all. And if this video does really good, maybe I'll do Secret Wars. But I don't want to interrupt you. This was your intermission. Hope you're back from the bathroom and getting your snack refill. Let's go back to the video.
Welcome back for more Chillixion.
We then cut to Captain America, Sam Wilson, doing something. I don't know what, but something. Then the Falcon, the new one, is also there. As we follow Cap and Falcon around the office, it's clear that they're building towards a new team. They have everything, except the actual team. This is when, from behind Cap is a bright orange glow, and the sound of a portal opening. As from the portal comes out Doctor Strange, and behind him is a new face, Clea. So why Clea? I didn't make Multiverse of Madness. At the end of Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, we were introduced to the character of Clea, a Doctor Strange character with a super long history that I could get into right now, but it doesn't really matter for this specifically. But at the end of that movie, we established that Clea and Strange know each other and they're working together towards incursions. In a new Avengers movie, we're gonna have Doctor Strange and we're gonna talk about incursions, so Clea is gonna be here. Now, would I personally prefer to, you know, maybe see Clea in a movie where we can actually learn who she is and establish her relationship with Strange? Yeah, I would love that, but I don't think we're getting that. And I put Clea in here because her not being in here didn't make sense to me, right? I did actually forget Thor, so don't even comment about that, but Clea, along with a lot of the characters, are here because, well, they kind of gotta be. There are just so many characters in the MCU, but thankfully for this situation, Clea does work and can provide some good information to our characters. Plus, this pitch doesn't acknowledge the fact that characters would be having dialogue like all the time. I mean, it's an MCU movie, they don't shut the fuck up. So we could definitely establish the relationship between Clea and Strange just through dialogue. Like maybe they talk about their previous mission, you know, maybe Strange has some regrets, maybe he had to do something not so good to prevent an incursion. Or because that's what Multiverse of Madness was about, maybe he's been hesitating on preventing incursions, right? Maybe he's been hesitating because he doesn't want to become this version of Doctor Strange he saw in his own movie. You know it's rude to not knock, right? And you know it's rude to not tell me there's a new place. It's for the new Avengers. There's new Avengers? Yes, but this is for the new Avengers team. The world needs heroes. And I'm tired of just waiting for something to happen. Well, no more waiting. There's a situation. Who is this? It's urgent, Sam. Since we defeated Thanos, I learned many things. One of which is a new threat approaching, called incursions. Universe-level threats, putting all life in jeopardy. So you and your little friend are telling me that this is just as bad as Thanos? Worse. Strange and I believe we took care of it, but a threat like this not only puts our world in danger, but every potential world. I can do a lot of things, but this problem, it's bigger than me. I need hands. With all due respect, I'll join you, but sounds like you need brains. And I know the exact spot we need to be. We then dramatically cut to someone meticulously typing at a holographic keyboard with a Black Panther mask by her side. This is Shuri, and soon we also get introduced to M'Baku, who arrives in the main building to continue discussions of politics and battle strategy after the events of Black Panther 2. Exterior, South Dakota. Doom and Franklin are walking through a dark and snowy hill space, Franklin attached to Doom at the hip, and Doom calmly walking through the snow. It's silent. The two don't speak to each other. I mean, what does Doom have to talk about? Franklin speaks up.
Are Mommy and Daddy okay?
Doom doesn't say anything for a moment before he turns around and gets to Franklin's level to rub his cheek. We will all be okay. We just need to keep moving forward.
Still? I'm tired.
If need be, I will hold you until your destination.
But it's cold.
We have a mission.
Okay.
When Franklin yawns the second time, Doom starts to think this may not be the smartest choice if he wants the boy alive and on his side. He sees a spot, probably a cave. Franklin closes his eyes. He hears fire crackle as he's laid on a bed of leaves and opens his eyes to see Doom found them somewhere to stop and be warm. Simply a temporary location of refuge. Rest is necessary.
Thank you very much.
Franklin says just like his parents told him. He tries to lay, but the howling winds are too much for the kid. Doom notices this and hesitantly gets a bit closer. Franklin tries to close his eyes and just go to sleep, but it's hard. It's the problem.
It's scary.
Do you need assistance?
Mom gives me a nightlight.
We don't have that.
Oh. Okay then.
Franklin tries to close his eyes again, but he hears. Franklin is shocked by this at first, but he just closes his eyes and he goes to sleep. As Franklin falls asleep, we transition into a flashback. The voice of Doom begins to blend in with the voice of a woman, a Romani woman, Cynthia Von Doom, his mother. We see Cynthia tending to a young Doom. He's around Franklin's age and she's singing him to bed. And you can just see the youth on his face.
Victor, you'll be so handsome when you grow up.
Throughout the scene, I think it's important that we show Doom's childhood. His childhood in a Romani village, right? We all know that Dr. Doom has been adapted many times, but has not been adapted as Romani many times. And that is a big controversial topic. I am not Romani. I am not even closely related, so I cannot speak on these things. But I can say that this is the opportunity to actually talk about it. In Fantastic Four First Steps, we actually talked about Ben's, relationship with Judaism. If we're gonna have a movie about Dr. Doom, we better show his backstory and we better show his childhood. I feel like here we could showcase the culture, what that has to do with Doom, his relationship with his parents, his relationship with his mother, and how much love and care she put into Doom. And most importantly, I want to showcase through this flashback that Doom has always been a curious child. He's not just smart because of luck, he's smart because he's curious. He wants to know things. He wants things to be his way, and he can only figure out how to do that by discovering new things, by exploring new things, by letting his childlike mind wander. And this trait will not be lost anytime soon. Exterior, Romani Burde. We see a scene in a dark forest, and we hear and see Cynthia running through it, running for her life. Her clothes look dirty and tattered like she's been hurt. We see who's chasing her. It's a horde of the Baron's men. on horses, torches in some hands, weapons in others.
Get her! Get that with the mark of Mephisto!
We keep following Cynthia running. She's desperate, trying to get to family. She's clumsy, but she's managed to survive. She falls on the ground. The men speed up. One of the men prepares his bow to aim. Another raises his torch above his head. One pulls back, and the arrow flies through the fire and zooms towards Cynthia. All we hear is a sharp scream. Doom, no older than 8, wakes up. His home is empty. It's not big, but it's empty. The door is open. Curiosity gets the best of him. Doom steps out to see what looks like his father in the distance. His heart drops, and he runs to his dad, only to see him crying, holding Cynthia's body, limp, bloody, unmoving. A young Victor gets a good look at this. He doesn't know what to say. His emotions get the best out of him. He falls to his father's side, and he cries. As Victor grew up, he began to grow a greater resentment from his oppressors and his oppression and his prosecution and everything that brings. It's not enough for him to immediately go to take over the world right now, but it is enough where us as an audience can understand. We can be like, yeah, no, this is fucked up. And his prosecution shouldn't be the main motivation for what he's doing in this movie, but it should be a major motivation for every action he takes place following this. As he gets older, one day Victor's dad is called to help the Baron's dying wife. And this is a stressful situation because, well, her life is in his hands. It's night. Victor is working outside, expecting his father to return soon. He hopes not the worst. But his father comes home, rushing on horseback. He looks worried. Victor's father tells him that they can't stay. They need to go. And when Victor asks why, his dad tells him that the Baron's wife had cancer. She could not be healed, not by him. But because of this, she passed away, and the Baron and the entire country are blaming Victor's father, so they gotta go. They're being hunted. Victor's father rushes inside his home to grab his belongings and his late wife's belongings. He puts them in a leather bag and he locks it and then gets on a horse, and him and Victor leave Latveria. Doom looks back on the back of the horse, stares at his childhood home, sees the horde of soldiers coming their way, and he's once again overrun with emotions. But he does not cry. Doom just stares with anger and frustration. Doom and his father are walking through the snow, guiding the horse by hand as it's too cold and steep to ride it efficiently. Everyone is freezing. Victor and his father have respective cloaks for this weather, but it's a storm. They're not ready. And a young Victor is shaking.
Father, it's cold.
His father looks at the boy, pale from the weather, and says nothing. He places his cloak on Victor, providing him an extra layer. Let's find some shelter then. Rest until tomorrow. The two find themselves in a small cave. The snow is a lot and is angling slightly into the cave, and there's no fire to speak of. As the two sit down, Victor takes an opportunity to lay on his side. He closes his eyes and, under his breath, he hums that very same lullaby to himself. Doom wakes up. It's bright out. Still snowy, but no longer storming. He gets excited noticing this, that they can keep moving. He turns to where his father is, ready to say something. He crawls to him. He shakes him awake. Or at least, he tries. Doom, shaking his father, slowly realizes that in giving Doom another layer to survive, he sacrificed his own life. as he died of frostbite overnight. Victor starts to shake. Not because of the temperature, but something fills him. Perhaps sadness, perhaps rage, but once again, he doesn't cry. Victor just flails his arms around in frustration, hitting the walls of the cave, bloodying his knuckles and knocking his father's belongings to the side. Victor looks. The bag his dad had popped open after being thrown, and out came books. Books he's never seen. Victor, panting heavily, approaches these books. He goes to grab one and looks enticed. His curiosity has once again gotten the better of him. Because whether or not he realizes, Doom has discovered sorcery. Then we have another scene in Wakanda. Obviously, we established that Shuri and M'Baku are already there, but Captain America, the Falcon, Doctor Strange, and Clea all go there and they all meet up, and this is our little own team of mini Avengers. This sets up Sam Wilson as the actual leader of this team. This allows every character to introduce themselves to each other. We can have that character dialogue that can make up for the lack of fucking screen time they're gonna get. But most importantly, this is where Doctor Strange and Clea explain incursions. And more importantly, allow Shuri to actually research the incursions. You know, maybe she finds some shit that they weren't aware of, uses her technological mind, a blend between sorcery and technology.
Like Doctor Doom.
We see a shot from the top of a hill. It's windy, but it's no longer snowing. We're somewhere else. We see Doom's foot and Franklin's as well. They have both arrived in San Francisco. Reed Richards wakes up in a panic. Johnny and Ben rush to him. They celebrate, but he's still worried about his son. So is Sue. There's no time to be worried. It's time for action, and Sue knows that. Reed looks up. He sees Bucky. Reed gets up, and they face each other. Mr. Fantastic? Dr. Richards, please, you've kept my family safe. We are allies.
Well, Dr. Ally, we have some questions.
First of all, who the hell is Doom? Second of all, what's an incursion, Dr. Richards? Now, through a dual perspective, through both the new Avengers Tower and Wakanda, we are getting an explanation of the incursions. Now, I'm not going to explain what incursions are in this video, because you know, everyone knows what incursions are. Crazy, cataclysmic, multiversal events that will cause shit to go crazy and will lead to Secret Wars. But most importantly, this is where our characters learn about the turning point, the thing that is causing these incursions to speed up, to ramp up, to go crazy, and for the world to eventually head to chaos. And this turning point is Doctor Doom. All of his multiversal travel using Franklin, this is causing the incursions to speed up more and more and more. Every time he does it, every second he spends in another universe, shit's going down. I also want to establish that Reed Richards knew about incursions, right? He's one of the smartest characters in the verse. I feel like he would know about incursions, and I think it creates a lot more interesting of a dynamic if he does. Because we established that Reed knows about incursions and that he was working on a plan, but could not finish it in time by the time Doom got there. And even more important, he kept it from his family. I didn't write an interaction on how they would react, but I can imagine that they wouldn't feel too good about Reed not telling them something about a world-ending event. And we can call it whatever, right? We could say that Reed was working to perfect it. We can say that Reed was getting distracted by family. We can say that Reed was hesitating. But he kept it from his family, and he's sorry. On the other hand, we have Shuri, who makes two major discoveries. First, using all of the multiversal energy and detecting the energy from all the multiversal travel, she finds a way to track Doom all the way to San Francisco. And second, she finds out that he's accompanied by an extremely powerful ally. So the Avengers, unaware of who Doom is exactly and who he's accompanied by, prepare to head to San Francisco and defeat the two who could cause the end of the world as we know it. We're at the front of the Pim Van Dyne Foundation's building. Doom recognizes the last name from what he was told, Pym. He's rung the doorbell, and coming in mid-conversation is Hope Van Dyne and Scott Lang. At first, they're worried, ready to hop into action if necessary, but Doom reassures them. I mean no harm. We are travelers from another universe. There is a great danger approaching. It is urgent. May I speak to your greatest scientific mind?
Well, I appreciate the thought.
Are you Hank Pym?
This is his daughter, Hope. Even smarter than he is sometimes. Hope hits Scott for saying sometimes. Ow! I'm trying.
No concern. Two great minds is far superior than one. No?
Come with me. Hope leads Doom inside. Scott sees Franklin and pulls out a deck of cards. Another world, you say?
Inside the deeper labs of the building, we see Doom and Hank speaking to each other. Hope, Scott, and Janet are all close by, watching as the two men speak. Franklin is still attached to Doom at the hip.
Not literally.
Yes. Not just that, but every potential world colliding with one another.
Do you know what could have caused this?
I wish I could say divine fate, but I fear it may have been excessive irresponsibility. People with the power to do something, but the ignorance to wait for it to fester.
Hope and Scott whisper amongst each other. Does something feel off about this guy? Nothing he's saying seems wrong, but the energy he has is just off. You know who that sounds like?
Hank.
Stark.
Dad! Rude.
What? I respect the guy. Rest in peace, but God, did he love to wait.
Doom begins to look around the lab, seeing vials of the Pym particle, and even some remnants of old Ant-Man suits. He doesn't move. He just looks. I admire your intelligence, Dr. Pym. Waiting is a person's pet peeve, even with those who have passed.
Well, it's still disrespectful, you two.
The room stares at each other with attention.
Well, why don't we get off our asses and fix this incursion nonsense? I have a device that we use to travel to the quantum realm. The two of us could reconfigure that machine in minutes. Well, the three of us could reconfigure it in seconds. You're right. My bad, sweetie. But we can help you.
My word. Hank gets up to shake Doom's hand, and Doom hesitates, but shakes his hand as well. Well spoken. Franklin, go to Lang. He has some more tricks to show you.
It's magic.
Tricks.
Franklin goes off towards Scott as he pulls out another deck of cards. While Hank and Doom head deeper into the office, Janice waits for Hope to get close so they can follow Doom and Hank together. You should be up with them, sweetie. It's your company. It's not about that. Dad's been out of the game for years. It's making him feel young. You're sweet.
In the matter of maybe a second, while Scott and Franklin are out of the room and while Hope and Janet are distracted, Doom gets close to Hank to give him a pat in the back. A green energy forms. Smoke clears, some sort of debris falling, some lights broken. Scott has covered Franklin's eyes so he doesn't see a thing, unaware. Hope and Janet stand in shock as Doom stands alone. Hank Pym is dead. Hope immediately activates his suit under her clothes to shrink as Doom moves his hand and darkens the windows to his deeper office so no one can see inside. Hope and Janet try to fight Doom as Scott tries his best to keep Franklin from seeing or knowing what happened and then make it inside the room, trying to break down the door as Doom keeps the two away with very little effort as he backs up towards the machine Hank was talking about. Doom begins to fiddle with it as we see how smart he is, already figuring out how to open it and hoping to edit it from the inside. He looks back at the door to the office. He can't leave without. When suddenly, glass breaks, Doom gets hit to the wall by something that bounces back to the user. As flying through this broken window
is Sam Wilson, Captain America. Cap, y'all know this guy? Identify yourself. I am Victor Von Doom, and I guarantee you will know me. Doom and Captain America dish it out. Cap has the advantage of wings, martial arts, and a shield, but Doom quickly begins to overpower him. Then quickly, through the same window, comes out Black Panther, the Falcon, and M'Baku, who aids Captain America with the hand-to-hand combat bit. The Falcon gets thrown through one of the glass windows of the office, allowing Scott to re-enter the fight, teaming with Hope. The destruction of this fight is so much that essentially the entire office is destroyed, creating a huge opening to the outside, letting us see the city during the fight. It's basically a montage of Doom both trying to change the settings of the ship and actively fighting off the Avengers using their own attacks and momentum against them. When suddenly, Doom gets hit again, this time by a series of attacks, all one after the other, but when Doom looks down, he can see the weapon that attacked him, a big gold and red ring. Doom looks up to see a foot colliding with his face, sending him to the ground. As he gets up from this, he looks at who's arrived at the battlefield. It's Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi joins the battle as it basically spans the entire building. I mean, all these Avengers and Doctor Doom facing each other, this could be super chaotic and super duper fun. While at the same time, I think it would be interesting if Janet is actively trying to tend to Franklin while she's grieving. It shows her resilience and her heroic attitude. And all of this high emotion, all of this chaos is not giving the Avengers the advantage. And near the end, Doctor Strange and Clea join in using sorcery. Here we could have an interaction where Doom comments on their sorcery, comments on their type of sorcery, and comments on how they learned to use magic, and how he learned by himself. Anyway, Doom takes care of the untrained, uncooperative Avengers team and gets Franklin out of Janet's hands, probably attacks her when Franklin isn't looking. Very important that Franklin sees none of this.
Doom, holding Franklin's hand, takes him quickly to the ship. He puts him in the seat and now is trying to find a way to possibly travel to a new universe using this. The Avengers are all standing up in pain, trying to keep fighting while never actually working with each other and being filled with intense emotion. So they all attack Doom. Doom puts his hand up and creates a large shield of sorcery that shakes the city to the core from all the pressure. In the vehicle, Franklin sits looking at Doom's cloak. He doesn't know what's going on. All he does know is that it's a mess, and he doesn't like it. It's just overwhelming emotion. As Doom is blocking, he hears Franklin crying. It's muffled, but he hears it. He doesn't lose focus on defense, but he counters the attacks, sending them to the Avengers, setting off an alarm. As Doom gets in the vehicle, in all the chaos, he presses some buttons as Franklin's screaming gets worse and worse as it begins to shake the ship as in a big flash. They're gone. Now, in the building, completely destroyed, stand the Avengers, having lost some more than others. Hope falls to her knees and screams for her father.
In this mess, some Avengers help others. Shang-Chi and Black Panther meet and Captain America speaks to Scott and Janet.
Miss Van Dyne, please. Not now. It's important. Sam, seriously. Not now. My condolences to you and to all of your family. But Scott, you're an Avenger. And right now, I would say this is a problem fit for the Avengers. Who even was that guy? Apparently Doctor Doom, the man leading our world to hell. And he just traveled again. Traveled to where? That's what we need to find out. If it was my guess, another universe. He came from a separate one. He came to this one, and now he's going to another. With that boy, and we need to stop him, Scott. Wherever he goes, what he does, could end our world. We need you. Scott doesn't say anything for a moment. But Hope does. We'll do it. Hope gets up, still shaking. She doesn't wipe her tears, but she's fueled with something. We're both Avengers. Now the question is, in a situation where there are infinite universes, which one did he go to? We see in the new Avengers Tower, the Fantastic Four and new Avengers are both preparing their equipment, getting ready for something. Even Ben brought in their ship for Reed to repair. Here, I think we would have different members speaking to each other, interacting, talking about how crazy the situation is, just really good character moments that would make this video 7 hours long. When, from outside, they hear what sounds like a jet. A light source from the window. Everybody looks up at what's flying behind the glass, and it's Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel has entered expecting the regular Avengers. She heard they got a new place, and she came here, but she doesn't recognize anyone except Bucky. And even then, I don't think she knows who he is. But with the Fantastic Four available, she's quick to ask questions, and Sue has answers immediately. Captain Marvel detected a spatial disturbance and figures out that it was probably the Fantastic Four. And this is where Johnny would say that it probably was also Doom. And here we have Reed finally standing his ground. He says what he needs to say. Okay, Doom is a guy who took his son. Reed wants his kid back. This is where Captain Marvel meets Marvel's first family, and she sees how resilient they are, willing to track Doom, no matter the universe. When Danvers learns about the multiversal travel, she actually relates it to her current mission. That's funny. I'm a bit focused on universes right now. I lost one of my friends. They said she fell through some rift. But I know she's out there. You think that's got something to do with it? Statistically, I honestly doubt the two things are correlated, but the truth is, no matter what universe your friend is at, Doom wants to do something to all of them. Not sure what, but something. Well, if you're gonna face a guy like that, you need some muscle. You mean extra muscle. Reed continues working hard on the ship. He's sweating and so damn close to done. He reaches in his pocket, and he takes out a classic locket with the Fantastic Four logo on it. Reed opens it, and we don't see what the picture is inside, but we see him smile. Everyone, welcome, the Excelsior 3.0. We hear heavy breathing as we pan to see Doom fixing himself, while Franklin catches his breath beside a tree. Doom looks at Franklin. He has a mission to complete, but he has to make sure the boy is okay. He maybe hands him some safe-to-eat berries, since he must be hungry. We must keep going.
What was that?
Fools trying to stop progress, trying to hurt us and the world. Doom starts to walk, expecting Franklin to follow.
Why do you always fight? Sometimes you can talk.
Franklin, I've been your age. You've never been mine. When you live in this world, you learn that you must fight to survive. Doom continues to walk. Franklin looks pensively and then chooses to follow him through the forest. You must always fight. In an equally dark forest, years ago, in a world left behind, we see a green glow coming from inside of that forest. As we see Doom, a younger version of him, but older than we once saw, reading his mother's tomes, practicing sorcery. I think this would be a great opportunity to showcase Victor actually learning sorcery, showing how he goes from a curious young child fueled by rage to a very intelligent young man who believes he can do anything because he learned fucking magic. Victor builds his own home on the outskirts of Latveria, literally being self-made, right? Not just in his sorcery, not just in his technology, but literally forcing himself into the contemporary age with his own hands. And I also think framing this backstory as Doom speaking to Franklin, create something interesting there, because this doesn't really seem like an older guy just telling a story. It seems like a lesson or a lecture. And doesn't that just show the real relationship between these two? That Doom still sees himself as way better than Franklin, even though Franklin is a little kid? As Doom and Franklin are walking through the forest, Doom is always a bit ahead of himself. As he's explaining a story, he begins to hear the sound of footsteps, sticks breaking, and the bizarre quiet of this place no matter where they end up, the forest looks the same. Doom turns. He sees nothing. He tries to turn back, but he can't. Something is stopping him from moving his armor.
It's quite rude to be a visitor and to not introduce yourself.
Stepping out from the dark of this forest is a man in a cloth cloak and a maroon helmet. Magneto. Doom looks to the side, where Franklin should be. Franklin slowly walks out of the same shadows. He looks confused, looking at Doom, as holding onto his shoulder is Doom, somehow.
Oldest trick in the book. You must not have many shapeshifters from where you're from.
Doom transforms, like scales unfolding. He shrinks and becomes Mystique. Franklin sees this, he yelps and runs to Doom's side.
Clever. We mean no harm, but will not hesitate to cause it.
We see, behind his back, Doom is preparing a spell, a subtle green glow, and he finishes, but nothing happens. Yet. Mystique sneers at Doom, but Magneto stops her. He puts his hand out and keeps his eye on the man.
And you are?
Magneto releases his grip on his armor. Doom gets up to face Magneto. Franklin stands behind his cloak.
Dr. Victor Von Doom. This is Franklin.
Franklin looks up at Magneto and Mystique, scared.
We are travelers from another world, attempting to escape the worst. The worst? Do tell. The end of all life as we know it. I can see in your eyes. You've lost so much. We must stop this.
Very well. Mystique gives Magneto a look of concern and confusion.
How may we help? Take me to your greatest scientific mind. If I was a much less humble man, I'd say myself. But follow me. We have a friend to visit.
Magneto and Mystique lead the way as Doom and Franklin follow suit.
Are you serious?
That man is not lying, Raven. I guarantee you that. Now, whether or not he's telling the entire truth is to be seen.
I don't know. I don't trust him.
You shouldn't. You have changed. Years ago you would have.
What makes you say that?
He reminds me of myself.
This is where we're taken to the first MCU appearance of Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters. I am a huge X-Men fan, so I'm gonna be very passionate about this real quick. Make it the Fox X Mansion. It was a very nice looking mansion and it's recognizable. And if we're gonna go for the 90s roster, f it. Make every single mutant in the school a 90s mutant. Let's go crazy. Let's put Morph in there. We see Cyclops, Nightcrawler, Gambit, Beast played by Hatsune Miku, and probably some lower level mutants too. If you want to sneak in some fan favorites, some Forget-Me-Nots, some Beaks, some Globs, this is where you do it. And I'm not writing all that. I want to make it clear that the students are scared of Magneto and Mystique. There is a history here. But even though they're scared, it's not like they're fighting them, right? It's not like Magneto pulled up to the X-Mansion, it's immediate hands. No. They're letting them go through. It implies a history, it implies a distrust, but it also implies that they've worked together before and that Magneto has put his foot down and established himself as a sort of, you know, half villain, half ally of the X-Men like he always is in the comics. And I think for a character like Magneto, who's been jumping from hero to villain in the fucking movies for years, this just makes sense. We shouldn't have him, you know, being the big bad.
Doom is brought to an office where we see Professor X speaking to Cyclops.
Charles, I've brought you a visitor. Victor Von Doom.
Professor X puts his hand out for a handshake. Doom hesitates, confused on how the man knows his name.
He's a telepath.
Doom looks at Cyclops and puts his hand out to the professor.
Charles Xavier. Not the telepathic, I was just told.
Franklin has been hiding behind Doom since the forest, but Charles approaches him with patience.
Hello, young man. What's your name?
Franklin. Professor X gives an elderly smile. Franklin smiles back.
After Doom explains the situation again, Professor X says that they can help him, but they need to go underground, away from the students.
Professor X gives Magneto a particular look, for maybe just a second, but one that stands out.
Magneto follows Doom and Professor X down the halls as they're preparing to head downstairs, but as they're passing through the halls, we run into some characters that we will recognize: Monica and Maria Rambeau. Since they were both last seen in the end credit scene of The Marvels, they have both become X-Men. Monica is on an active mission trying to get home with the help of Beast, but all of that is underground. And I don't want Monica to feel like she was in The Marvels and then she hasn't done anything until this point, right? She has lived at least months since that point, and that relationship between her and the other X-Men matters. If we're not gonna have Rogue, maybe Gambit flirts with Monica. I think that would be cute and hot, I don't know. But also establishing that Monica and Maria are both characters that in their respective universes, at least from what we can see, don't have each other. Maybe Maria isn't a mother in this universe, so she's feeling these weird motherly feelings but has not birthed the child. She hasn't had the child in her for 9 months. She hasn't gone through all that. So it's very strange, especially since she's a grown woman. And Monica hasn't had her mom in years. Let's talk about that. Establish that, please. I know it's funny that I'm saying talk about that, establish that. I'm not writing that. I just think that would be cool. And if you also think that would be cool, comment your thoughts down below.
Who the hell is that? Calls himself Dr. Doom. Him and the kid are like you.
As in?
From another world.
What, really?
Monica starts to follow the four, but her mother grabs her arm.
That's not gonna do much, sweetie.
They're just discussing. I guarantee you, Monica, if the professor finds a solution, you'll be the first one to hear about it.
I see. Yeah. You're right. Yeah, you're right.
As the four head underground, they're having some high IQ small talk. Professor X asks Doom how he became a doctor, and he answers. And you two, how did you encounter each other? Oh, we both met as young men, filled with energy and ideas. And enough passion and disagreements to burn down a forest.
Ah, yes, Eric. Many debates. What memories.
They never ended, Charles.
It's true.
Similar goals, different philosophies, can cause quite a stir. I'm sure.
This is where we continue the Dr. Doom backstory. Since he learned how to master technology and how to master sorcery, he sought to leave Latveria, to go somewhere else, to go somewhere new, away from all of his traumas. So he decided to go to the United States of America for university, where he would be roomed with a certain Reed Richards, which I will be using this picture of Pedro Pascal to represent. They may not have been immediate best friends, but for the first time in both of their lives, they don't have to dumb things down to have conversation. Like, they actually have someone of equal intelligence to speak to. And through this flashback, maybe a fun montage, I want to establish that Doom always hated when Richards either argued or disagreed with him. Hell, even when he did agree with him, he wanted to always have the last word. Where Richards was always expanding on the science part, Doom was always working on science and sorcery. As we actually see the first attempts of Doom doing this, maybe he's using sorcery to construct some sort of scientific tool while Reed has to use a rolling chair just to reach the other side of the room.
We see Doom and Richards finishing up a machine late at night. Doom is working effortlessly and Reed finishes his last few bits, taking a significant break between every beat. This is it. With this machine, dimensional travel, true dimensional travel will be possible. I'll be able to go anywhere, even the deepest pits of hell, if I so wanted.
Thought you didn't believe in an afterlife, Victor.
I don't believe in heaven, Richards, but I know what the devil has taken from me, and I don't appreciate how light you're taking this.
Well, I mean, we're not exactly done.
I disagree. We just put the final touches. There's nothing left to do.
Well, I was just looking at the inside and there's some errors, like,
Errors?
like all these devices connected together directly and not through an adapter.
An adapter would compress it, subdue its power.
That's necessary. You're processing far too much right now.
It has never overheated once. What makes you think it would
Because
do
it
now?
happens? I work on this stuff more than
What's
you.
your tone, Richards? I am here day in and day out, mastering my craft, learning to bend the world to my mind. You question me? You insult me. You insult my sorcery. You insult my mind. You insult my mother. So, I am through with you. Leave before I make you.
Reed is
shocked. But he turns around and leaves. He stands at the door.
Victor, I was just trying to help. If we work together,
Doom
we can...
steps to Reed, face to face. No, I will never work with you again. I need you to know, being considered your peer has always boiled my blood. So leave before that blood boils you.
Reed leaves the door and closes it behind himself. Doom goes to his machine, opens a tome, and turns the device on. He gets on the ground, puts his hands together, and begins to perform a ritual as the machine is going. Electricity coming off of it as it prepares for a form of teleportation, travel to another world. As Doom's ritual forms a green sigil on the floor, as he can hear voices of people, men, women, children. In the cacophony of machinery and magic, Doom can make out the voice he was looking for. His mother. He smiles during the ritual. Maybe even a tear falls down his cheek. As the machine continues to work, it supercharges the room. Sheets of paper float into the air. The fans of the device are going on overdrive. The noise is increasing, but Doom doesn't care. He's doing what's working. But soon the machine doesn't stop increasing. It keeps going. We can see a bit of smoke coming out of the machine, but it all goes south when the sigil under Doom goes from a bright glowing green to a deep glowing red. As the voices distort, Doom is struggling to keep the ritual going, but he has to keep going. The machine is shaking. Doom tries to stay on the ground as it lifts him up. Things are being thrown everywhere. Things are breaking, but they're all avoiding Doom. We see a perspective from the outside. Reed walks away as one window from campus glows a bright red, as if hell had come into New York City, as it gets more and more intense until the windows shatter. The lights turn off. The machine is destroyed. It overheated. We track the lab. It's a complete ruin, as Doom is still conscious. He's shaking, getting up, and from him we see a trail of blood. When Doom notices this, he looks at his hands and his chest. There's blood on both, too. He's facing away from the camera, but he touches his face and checks his hands. He frantically gets up and rushes to the nearest bathroom to get it to the mirror. He turns the light on, blood staining the switch. As he approaches the mirror, hands covering his face, he's shaking, grabbing one hand with the other, dragging it away from his face like he has to force it. He sees on his face, cutting through his cheek and lip, is the smallest scar. Still fresh. Blood leaking out of it. Doom can't believe it. He's quivering like he's about to cry. But that sadness quickly turns to wrath. He looks at his hands that brought him here. And in a shaking rage, he slams them through the mirror, shattering it. As at the top of his lungs, he screams the only name he can think of. We cut back to that same dark forest, but now arrived are the new Avengers, the Fantastic Four, and Captain Marvel, all here with one goal: find Doom and get Franklin. And this is where they can split up to maybe look for Doom, look for Franklin. This is where they run into different members of the X-Men. You know, maybe a Gambit, maybe a Beast, maybe a Cyclops or whatnot. Immediate tension sparks, the very classic two heroes meet and they have to have a clash of some sort. The X-Men will obviously assume them threats because Dr. Doom is a very suspicious looking guy, and they'll fight. Some interesting mashups could be Cyclops against, let's say, a majority of the new Avengers. I just think giving him an uneven mashup and then he dominates would be great. Yes, I am aware of the Doomsday teaser that shows Cyclops. Maybe he does that, okay? Eat my ass. And I think it would be fun to see Mystique versus Mr. Fantastic. Of course, Danvers would run into Monica and Maria would not know who she is. Like, unless she had a Carol Danvers in this universe too, she would have no clue who she is, and that might start a bit of conflict at first if they're the first two to meet. But then when Monica gets there, they can finally be like, wait a minute, I know you. You're my friend. Let's fix this issue. Or a different idea, maybe Danvers and Maria immediately hit it off, a testament to how strong their friendship is, regardless of universe. And at that point, it's just a game to see if our three space heroes can stop all of the heroes from killing each other.
And this is what we were speaking of. Cerebro, a telepathic enhancer. This is how we find our students. And perhaps, maybe how we find who you are looking for. Franklin peeks out from behind Doom. He's intrigued by this machine. He tugs at Doom.
Can I?
Please, feel free. Just be careful. You cannot be serious, Charles. Do not worry, Eric. For non-telepaths, the device isn't functional. And that boy is no telepath. Professor X turns to look at Doom. But he is strangely powerful. Yes, he is. Doom starts to walk to Franklin. But not yours. Doom stops in his tracks. There's many things you're hiding from us, Victor. Doom turns around. Magneto looks at Professor X. Did you truly believe you could hide all of that from a telepath? No, I did not. But if you read my mind, why did you bring me here? Knowing what I'm planning to do. Magneto looks at Professor X again, hoping for some clarification. What does this mean? You saw it all then. My plans, what I've done, what I'm going to do. That door is locked, isn't it? What a mistake to lock yourself in with me. Doom lifts his hand, Magneto lifts his. Professor X stops him. Eric, please! Doom shoots a spell towards Franklin, creating an opaque barrier between the child and the adults. He wasn't trying to hurt us. I believe you're mistaken again, Charles. Your hesitation will kill us all. Magneto goes for an attack, attempting to halt Doom in his tracks. He puts in the force, but Doom keeps moving. That won't work a second time. You left me to my own devices long enough where I could set up a spell. Antipoles. Your magnetism does not affect me. Doom goes for an attack that hits Magneto directly. As behind Doom is Franklin, who's distracted, looking at Cerebro as he presses a handful of buttons, turning it on. As it tries to find a telepath, it indicates that no telepaths are wearing the helmet. Suddenly, it changes. As the machine begins to turn on, Franklin and the rest are taken deep into Cerebro. What starts as a blank space, as if it's a glitch, then accelerates to 1 mutant, 2 mutants, 3 mutants, as if the range of these supposed telepathic abilities are growing by the second. Professor X sees this and is confused. I thought you said he was no telepath. I read his mind. He had no such indication. How is this? Perhaps only I am worthy to recognize his strength.
We cut back to the fight between the X-Men and the Fantastic Four, where Carol, Monica, and Maria are all trying to refocus all of their teams. Tell everyone, stop fighting, this tension does not need to happen. Until,
right at the feet of Cyclops, is a shield clad in the stars and stripes. The X-Men leader looks up and sees Captain America flying in, with the rest of his team of Avengers arriving shortly.
Having made it with the help of Hope, Janet, Strange, Shuri, and Clea, all of our heroes have arrived in this universe, and they are ready to get into action. I mean, hell, they see a fight going on, they see some of their old friends being attacked, and occasionally, they may see an old enemy. being attacked. If there are some hidden X-Men cameos that aren't on the cast list, I don't know, Storm, Angel, whatever, bring them here, have them join this fight, let's make it big. This is your X-Men versus your Avengers. This is where you do all the stuff that you want to do. This is where you have your big fight, your cool moments. Because goddammit, why else have both teams interact with each other if they're not gonna fight it out? The script is too long though, so we're not gonna talk about it.
As both teams are fighting, and some tension begins to get resolved. Like a gunshot and a wave simultaneously, everybody drops to their knees, grabbing their heads like a migraine from hell has attacked. What the hell? This power!
It's Cerebro!
But that's not the professor's mind.
Franklin! We cut back to the fight between Doom, Magneto, and Professor X. Magneto and Professor X look completely beat. Doom should look fine. And Franklin should still be at Cerebro.
Franklin is being overwhelmed by all the information on Cerebro. Every new voice and mind stacks on the last. The boy screaming, holding onto his head like it's going to burst. Through the pain, tears go down his face. And he says, despite all the chaos,
Mom. Dad.
Doom, using a powerful spell, manages to lift Magneto, making him unable to move. Let's see how you like it. Magneto is thrown like a rag doll towards Professor X, knocking into him and knocking him out of his wheelchair on the floor. Magneto can't get up, and Professor X struggles to look up. He sees Doom standing above him. Doom grabs him, picks him up to look into his eyes. Your friend was right. Despite all your intelligence, Doom puts his hand to Professor X's chest. You hesitated. He blasts to the professor, dropping him on the ground. Doom turns around to go to Franklin. He drops the barrier and walks towards the boy. The pressure coming off of Franklin is almost working like a psychic field of its own. But despite this, Doom pushes forward. Franklin is crying. At this point, billions if not trillions of minds are going through his all at once. He can't focus. Doom is behind him. Franklin. Focus. He gets on one knee and caresses the boy's face. Franklin is still frantic, but this begins to calm him down. But nearly enough, Doom gets closer. It will all be okay. I need you to focus and find Loki. Franklin screams on top of his lungs as the sheets from the room start to fly off as Doom holds the boy close. The boy opens his eyes and they glow a bright white, a glow that engulfs the two of them until blindly the entire room. We follow the X-Men running through the halls. Cyclops is leading, and the other heroes are following behind. Every new thing they see gets them mildly distracted. Beast opens a door to Cerebro as everyone sees Magneto laying, tending to one person on the floor. Cyclops pushes past the crowd of heroes and runs to Magneto's side to see Charles Xavier. Gone. Cyclops is broken. The rest of the X-Men are devastated. Who did this? Doom did.
We're so sorry.
As it seems the other heroes are in mourning, Cyclops is approached by Hope. She gets to his level and wraps her arm around his back. They're complete strangers, but in loss, they are united. Captain America approaches too. He also puts his hand on Cyclops' back. Doom isn't here though. Him and the boy left.
Do you know where?
We'll reroute the tracker. We also have our ways of locating Doom. Together we can reduce time. Doom needs to pay. And we'll do it together. Hope gets up, and Captain America helps Cyclops up.
All of us. Regardless of universe, we need to stop Doctor Doom.
Cyclops looks at the other heroes.
He looks at his team. They're ready. Well then. To me, my X-Men, Avengers, assemble. Exterior. The end of time.
Doom is impressed. They got here in seconds. The power that Franklin possesses is much stronger than he could have ever known just by walking into the Baxter building. If it wasn't obvious, this was always his plan. He always knew that he wanted to get to the Citadel at the end of time, and he knew that Franklin was the only way that was going to happen. Again, there are so many moving parts in the MCU, and so many things that could be Infinity Gem type stuff. I mean, the rings, the incursions, blah, 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 blah. But in my opinion, the one thing that is pretty consistent is the multiverse, and the one means that has been communicated very effectively has been Loki and the Loki TV show. And you know what? They established that that guy is strong as fuck, so why wouldn't Doctor Doom go for him?
Doom is readjusting his cloak. Franklin is on the floor, coughing his lungs out. Doom looks around as he finally spots it. The Citadel. He's ready. Franklin's hand gets grabbed. He's up as Doom drags him to the Citadel, holding his hand. It's time, Franklin.
Wait.
We have almost arrived.
Wait.
Franklin pulls his hand out from Doom's grasp. He falls on the floor. He looks up at Doom. His face is red. Tears in his eyes. Doom looks at the boy. Confused.
Where are we?
Doom says nothing.
Where are we? What did you do?
Here is where we'll find a solution to the end, Franklin.
You hurt him.
Doom says nothing.
He's dead. It hurt.
Doom turns around to face the Citadel.
He's dead. You killed him. Why?
I'm sorry, Franklin. Doom turns around to stare at the boy. He raises his hand. I truly am. Interior. Citadel. At the end of time. There sits Loki, holding on to all of time. At the end, there he has sat and will continue. If everything goes how it's supposed to. The door opens. We can hear the metal footsteps of the man who's walked in.
I apologize, but I don't permit visitors.
Doom walks in, carrying an unconscious Franklin like a baby. But he's taking his time. I am no visitor. I am exactly where I'm supposed to be. Doom lays Franklin down, peacefully. The boy's breathing, but he's out cold.
You know, I'd be lying if I said I didn't know you'd be here. You've made quite a name for yourself.
What Doom puts his mind to becomes a new reality. Frost Giant. Both men stand at attention, the glow from the branches shining on Loki, while Dr. Doom is stuck in darkness.
That's obsession, Doctor. I was once obsessed. Drove me mad. It will not be paid off, my friend. In my time of obsession, success was never permanent.
As Doom walks towards Loki, the god of story looks.
That boy. You care about him, no? What you plan to do puts his life at risk.
A risk worth the future I see for this world.
You will have regrets. Through all of time, I see, and even I feel, many regrets. You will as well.
I fear that we are vastly different. Your regrets and obsession made you a slave to time. My obsession has brought me here, and I have no regrets.
We are different, Doctor. You view yourself as a god, and I am a god.
That appears untrue.
We open back to the end of time, and thanks to the likes of Hope, Janet, Mr. Fantastic, Shuri, Doctor Strange, Clea, and the Beast, they have finally arrived here. Mostly due to tracking Franklin, but they made it. I mean, with this many smart people, it's not unbelievable to think that. And when they arrive, they can't believe what they're looking at. I mean, what kind of place is the end of time, really? They're confused, they have no idea what the fuck is going on, but they made it. And they're all together. In contrast to Infinity War, where they were all split in different places, all of our heroes are here. A script with much more time would describe what everyone says, but we won't do that.
Reed checks a monitor on his wrist. An incursion indicator. Looks good. With all this multiversal travel we've done, we've massively accelerated the speed of the incursions.
Yeah.
To save your kid, Ben.
Reed. This is family we're talking about. Okay, we can't save the world before we save ourselves. Right?
Yeah.
We'll get him back, Reed. Our heroes step into the Citadel. The leaders head in first. Sue and Reed see Franklin on the ground, unconscious before they see anything else.
Franklin!
They're stopped before they can do anything. When they get a look at the scene ahead, it's hard to see, as at the end of this citadel is a bright light, green and white, blinding all of our heroes. They have to cover their eyes just to see. Dr. Doom is standing at the throne, grasping onto the branches, as at his feet is the body of what once was Loki, headless. Oh, Doom turns around to stare at our heroes. You don't get a hello, barging onto Doom like this. But I can provide you a goodbye, if you wish.
Our heroes look at the scene ahead, and seeing everything going on, the tension is just far too high. The emotions are just far too high. Whatever is happening needs to be stopped. So we got the Avengers, the new Avengers, the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, Shang-Chi, Magneto, Mystique, Doctor Strange, Clea, Captain Marvel, all of these people, they all launch their attack straight towards dude.
He swats them like flies. The Fantastic Four all try to get to and tend to Franklin, but as they approach, a field stops them as Doom attacks. Johnny and Ben try to fight back. They are just manhandled.
It looks like that one cutscene from Marvel Ultimate Alliance. This one, I'm gonna put this on screen. This one right here. It looks like that. Just absolute mollywoppage. And I said at the beginning of the video, I haven't mentioned the Sentry this entire film, but if he ever does awaken his powers, he still loses here, right? Because Dr. Doom in this instance is pure power. He is almost an unstoppable force. But that's also why I said maybe. I mean, we established the Sentry as this big, strong guy. I don't know how cool it would be to have him lose, but also I don't know how cool it would be to just have him sit around. This is the exact conversation I think the Russos had about the Hulk. Jesus. But like I said, Doom is a threat, and whatever power he has now, it's making it worse.
All this effort, it matters not. Even cornered to my last breath, I remain who and what I am. You come to me in anger, but it is a waste. It is such a waste. You do not have time. Your homes and families crumble at the moment, and you are not even there to observe it. So, I ask the second brightest minds in this building, what happens when it's all gone? Doom finally takes his hand off the branch as it begins to wither away. Doom's armor supercharges with a bright white light that begins to release from his armor. Doom puts his hand out. Only Doom remains. We know so much more than we understand. But we know so little. Many believe the white light you see when you die is the supercharged electric whimper of a desperate and dying brain. Synaptic death. But it's not. We see Doom standing on a single platform with the endlessness of time and space in front of him. His back to us. That brilliant, blinding light is God. We see Doom as we can see his mask and briefly what's under. His eyes and his scar. And he has been with us all along.
There it was, my pitch for Avengers Doomsday. Like I said, I'm not saying I'm better than Marvel, I'm not saying I'm better than the Russos, okay? This was just me throwing out my idea, putting it on a script, and bringing it to life for all of you guys to enjoy. I put a lot of my heart, a lot of my energy, and a lot of my soul into this. I mean, I'm recording this on December 31st, 2025, because I promised I was gonna get this video done before the end of the year. And we did it. So thank you. And I want to emphasize that this was made for y'all. I made it so you guys could enjoy it. So please feel free to comment down below any and all of your thoughts, okay? Whether you were commenting as you were watching or whether you're commenting now like a good viewer. I just want to hear your guys' thoughts, right? Normally I say like a series of things you guys could comment on, but as a filmmaker, it's not my job to tell you how to think. Just, you know, feel free to share your mind with me if you want to. That was probably the best Chillixion video, to be honest. But now is the part where I talk about the 5,000 subscribers. So everyone's probably already gone by now. Thank you so much for watching. But I just want to be honest with you guys, the storytellers, the people who have been watching. Whether you've been watching for an hour, whether you've been watching for a day, whether you've been watching for years. Like, you clicking like and watching the videos and clicking subscribe and becoming a storyteller, being a part of the Limbo gang, being on this journey with me means the world to me. Seriously. I don't have a script. I keep looking at my screen because I don't want to look into the camera because it makes me shy. But I do this for me, honestly, but I also do this for the viewers. I do this to, you know, to teach people about storytelling techniques, to start conversations about the shows and the movies and the comic books and the video games that we love, and getting a little deeper, right? It's a common conversation that media literacy is dead, which I don't like. I don't like absolute statements, but I mean, it's true. People like to be stupid, right? And people don't like to think very hard about the stuff they watch. And this channel was made so that when you come here, you do think harder about the stuff that you watch, right? There is no, it's not that deep. When you're on the Chillixion channel, it is that deep. And not only is it that deep, but it's deep because it's fun and it's creative. And it warms my heart that there's just so many people who believe in that mission in many different ways, whether you came here from the analysis, the discussions, my reactions to the Toku stuff that got a lot of views, my Quadeca video, my live streams, whether you came from my friends, like, thank you guys, seriously. When I was younger, I always dreamed of being like a content creator guy, like in the 2010s when it was a lot cooler to do it. But every single subscriber and like, it brings me closer and closer to my dream, which would be to just create what I want and be able to live off of that. And I'm not there yet. 5,000 subscribers is not getting me there yet, but it's halfway through 10K, and 10K is always like the number goal I see for myself. And if we ever reach that, I'm gonna do backflips. I don't know. I'll chug a whole bottle of Jack Daniels. I'm joking. I'm not gonna do that. I say this as someone who, you know, is always watching YouTube and is always thinking about what I can do for the content and what I can do for the art, you know, to make it good, to make it entertaining, to make it better. It means a lot that 5,000 of you thought it was good enough to click that subscribe button. I consider this my 5K special. I'm not even gonna cut because of that little I consider this my 5K special. It's probably the biggest, most ambitious video I've ever made. And yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna be, this is where the bad news comes in if you're a Chillixion fan. I'm not gonna be uploading for a little bit. This is like my last hurrah for a good few months. I'm in college and I'm heading towards my last semester, and I study film. And I'm working on a very big project that you guys will see at some point, but it's gonna take basically all of my energy to do. So this is the last hurrah of Chillixion in a video form. I'm not done uploading and I'm not done being on the internet, right? Because if you've been following me for, I wanna say last month, I've been doing weekly live streams every Wednesday, 3:30 p.m. PST. We've been reacting, we've been playing Pokemon Nuzlocke. The day I'm recording this is actually the one day we're not doing it because it's New Year's. But I mean, if you want to catch me somewhere, catch me there. Genuinely, it's such a fun atmosphere. It's only like 5-6 of us. You know, every once in a while, there's not that many people on the streams. But it's a tight-knit community. You know, we make each other laugh. You get to see me be really bad at video games for like 2.5 hours every single week. And in these next few months and following suit, I'm gonna be doing that a lot more. Talking about streaming while recording the Doomsday video is like, 5K means a lot. It really does. If I was a better actor, I would cry right now just to up the views, but I'm not gonna do that. But yeah, this is coming out in 2026, but happy 2025. I hope all of you have a really good 2026. If you didn't see the DCU pitch video, the DCU Teen Titans pitch video, please check that out. It's really good. It's not as crazy as this video was, but I also think it's very good. Like I said in the ad break, if this video does well enough, I will gladly do Secret Wars, and I'll make it bigger and badder. I swear to God, I will. I'll do more of these. This is the dream. You know, I'm gonna enjoy it when Doomsday comes out. I'm not trying to compare, but the experience of making this video, I think, makes it a whole different thing for me. But yeah, so let's get this video to 100 likes. Check out the DCU Teen Titans video that I did. If you want to see more of my pitches, if you want to see more, comment down what stuff you want me to pitch. If you have any ideas, I would love it. I may not take many of them, but I'll gladly listen. And yeah, take care of yourselves. Pat yourselves on the back because you did great. And thank you so much for watching. Seriously. Not just this video, but all of them. Okay? I've been Chillixion, and I hope all of you have a damn good one. Peace.